Hello YouTube, welcome back. We have actually started the final cleanup process. We removed the Cosmoline from all the metal pieces. As you can see here, the receiver has been cleaned up. Um, Basically ended up using the paint thinner, which is environmentally safe, to remove that buildup that we had seen originally at the first parts of the video. Also, we've cleaned up all the chrome for the bolt, the magazine well, and the trigger guard assembly, the magazine follower, all the components of the uh, tang screws, buttstock, handguard grip, the butt plate, the bayonet itself. Now here's the outcome of the wood finish of the upper handguard. As you can see, the brass fittings come out much more clear. Of course, those will be polished as well with some metal polish, and I'll cover that later. Okay, and I'm also going to show you the outcome of the stock. Now the stock here still has a couple of spots, but we've also noticed a couple of other markings that have surfaced. Again, keep in mind that with these rifles, a lot of times the Cosmoline and so on will do that. Now here's an example of a Arsenal repair. Notice that little spot right there. I know it's in the shade, but there's that line, that L-shaped line. That is a repair. Okay, so a lot of times a lot of people don't want to restore these weapons, but actually they have. So you can see here's the Arsenal repair mark right there. I'm sorry if we can capture that. You'll see it. Okay, and of course you still have a little bit of buildup there at the end cap of the Cosmoline. Now I just did stop. I did two coats of citrus strip. As you can see, it did quite well doing it this way. One of the reasons I like doing it this way is because it does not raise the grain as much as a liquid or even steaming it out. Although there's nothing wrong with that, because you're still going to end up having to go back through with something like 220 grit, 250 grit, and then maybe down. Some people will bring it down to like 150 grits. Here's one of the Arsenal marks that showed up, and even more. Those little semicircles popped up. There's the other Arsenal mark that I had pointed out earlier. It looks like a V, and there looks like a number 5. Okay, we still have that wood knot right there. There's no number markings here on this stock up on the comb. Okay, but there is quite a bit of a build up there. Now I have actually steamed one of these stocks before, but it did raise the grain quite a bit, so I ended up having to sand it. Turned out really nice. That was my project that I did for a family member. The Sporterized M 9130 with the long barrel. I know a lot of people didn't like the way that setup looked, but it was a very accurate rifle, and that was the end result. All the Cosmoline's been removed right here that we had seen previously, but you know, once we remove the rest of the Cosmoline from this, I'm going to go ahead and let the heat in the rain in the garage, rather. Sorry for the loss of words there. Will show up. Now here's a good example where there's a lot of Cosmoline right there. Now something like that, you can go back in with something like Crud Cutter or other products that will work just as good. The only thing about those, again, keep in mind, you're going to raise the grain. You can still steam them out. The only thing when you're trying to keep the Arsenal markings is be real careful where they are, because if you accidentally press right over, then what's going to happen is you end up losing those Arsenal marks. And of course, when you sand them, it takes care of a little bit of the bringing up the surface to the surface rather. Here's a cartouche marking that we had not seen before. There's one that popped up. And in essence, I mean, you just want to keep preserving it. Now I understand this is a historical weapon for a lot of the purists, but again, my objective is just simply to restore and conserve this, so it's not for the purposes of destroying the weapon. And you can see right here all the dark spot. That's just a lot of nasty Cosmoline that's dug in there. Hopefully I can bring it up to the surface and get it out. I am going to go ahead and try to free float the barrel on this here stock. I've done it before. I've also shimmed them on another Mosin. The one that I previously did a restoration job was shimmed. Worked out really nice. Another one that I had used did not require any type of shimming, but still, here's a good example of the end cap. And let's see if I can bring that repair mark right there. You can probably see it better now under the light. Very evident right there, and right there you can see that light patch. But overall, I mean, it looks very impressive so far, and I'm try to get as much of this out of here and try to lighten it as best as I can. Said I still have not decided what type of finish I'm going to do, but the grain looks very nice. Now, one of the things that I also did, I want to point out too, is that I also tried to rub in regards to and forward with the grain rather, and it did bring up some of the Cosmoline because you do create friction. And I'll mention that also when in the staining process, how I'm going to do that. See, this right here is a good example of where there's a lot of detail in the wood, but it's still with the Cosmoline. Right there's a nice wood grain pattern. Okay, here's another example where there's still Cosmoline. But I'm going to let the heat bring that up to the surface, and I'm going to clean that up. And of course, I also know that with the heat, it'll help, you know, clear up the wood a little bit. And again, this is just a natural environment that we're using. Right here in where the handguard clips, the retention clips were, that cleaned up nicely. Still, of course, there's a little bit of work to do. That one shows a little bit of the citrus strip. But overall, I'm going to go ahead and continue. Now, in regards to the metal, let me go ahead and cover this. A great product that I like to use is this product here called Blue Wonder. It's a gun cleaner. It's a multi-purpose cleaner. It is in a gel. It works really good with 4/0 wool to do the removal of rust, that you surface rust, especially if you don't see it. You just dab a little bit and just kind of lightly go over it. Don't obviously swirl. You want to go side to side and up and down, just to keep the continuity of the surface. But it does not scratch the surface now unless you put a lot of effort into it. Now with this, I basically clean that up, and then I follow up with another product here. It's called Rust Proof. Now with Rust Proof, I've let this product sit in here for about 20-30 minutes. So I come in, clean up the Blue Wonder with this product, and let it go in and penetrate. I said it's a nitrile solvent. I even run it down the barrel too, as part of the process of cleaning up. So I don't want this to rust any further. Followed by, once I end up with the barrel aspect of it, I follow up with some Hops No. 9 nitrile solvent. It's gun bore cleaner. So this is a very nice product. And then I'll follow up with a couple of patches of CLP. I'll do the bronze bore brush with a little bit of Blue Wonder right here. Okay, so after I run my solvents, I'll do a little Blue Wonder, followed by some CLP. And as far as the chrome, I like to use a little bit of lithium grease. Now lithium grease also helps, once I polish the chrome on the bolt, it helps to do two things. One, it makes it look very nice and presentable, but two, it smooths out the action a little bit. And a little bit of lithium grease in the contact points here, back here, the bolt body, a little bit here, a little bit here. Connector rod definitely helps smooth out the action. And of course, I'll put some, just a hair around here. Of course, I'll polish this surface as well. This is, of course, the cocky knob. And I don't know if now the Arsenal stamp can come out very clear, but it's, you can kind of sort of see the triangle with the arrow. The end cap does have a little star. I don't know if the camera will pick that up. Try to keep it in the light, and there's a little star. So that is a Tula piece. This is odds and ends on this rifle, but the receiver is indeed a Tula, and you still can't really see it very clearly here. So I do apologize. Yes, I am on top of the washer. In any case, we appreciate your watching, and stay with us as we continue with this. I'm going to go ahead and treat all the metal and preserve it, and then I'm going to come back and focus on the wood once the metal's all been worked on. In the meantime, it lets the oils, the lubricants and things like COP work its way in and help preserve this rifle. Thank you for watching.